There's a moment that lives in the quiet satisfaction of almost every person who has learned to find peace within their own walls. It happens in the space between an invitation received and the gentle decline given. It's that soft exhale when plans are cancelled. The warm relief that washes over you when you realise the evening is yours again. The particular contentment of closing your door and knowing you don't have to leave. You've felt this moment perhaps more times than you can count. That small familiar sensation of returning to yourself, of choosing the known comfort of home over the unpredictable energy of the world outside. Now dim those lights, get cozy, settle into your pillow and let yourself relax. Take a breath. Tonight, we're exploring something you might recognize in yourself. This tendency, this preference, this gentle gravitational pull back toward home, not as something to fix or overcome, but as something to understand. Because loving to stay home is not about fear or avoidance or missing out. It's about knowing what nourishes you. It's about honouring a nervous system that finds restoration in familiar spaces. And tonight, as you settle deeper into rest, we'll gently explore why home feels the way it does for you, and why that might be exactly what you need. There's something deeply human about the pull toward home, and it begins long before conscious preference. Your nervous system recognizes home as more than just a physical location. It recognizes it as a regulated space, a place where your body can drop its vigilance, where your mind doesn't have to perform or monitor or adjust. When you step through your door, something shifts. Your shoulders might lower slightly. Your breathing might deepen. This isn't laziness or antisocial behaviour. This is your autonomic nervous system recognizing safety, and that recognition matters more than most people realise. The autonomic nervous system is the part of you that operates beneath consciousness, managing heart rate, breathing, digestion, all the processes that keep you alive without your having to think about them. But it also manages something more subtle and profound. It manages your sense of safety in the world. And this system has two primary modes. There's the sympathetic mode, which activates when you need to be alert, engaged, ready to respond. And there's the parasympathetic mode, which activates when you're safe, when you can rest and restore. Your home, when it's truly yours, when it's a space you've chosen and shaped, becomes a place where your nervous system can shift into that parasympathetic state more easily than anywhere else. This is why coming home after a long day feels like such a relief. It's not just psychological, it's physiological. Your body is literally changing its operational state. Your heart rate slows, your breathing deepens, your muscles release tension they've been holding. The cortisol levels in your bloodstream begin to drop. Your digestive system, which may have been suppressed during the day, starts functioning more efficiently again. All of this happens automatically, without your conscious control, because your nervous system recognizes that you're in your sanctuary now. You're in the one place in the world that belongs entirely to you. And notice, as you take this in, how your breath is moving right now. Feel the gentle rise and fall of your chest, the way air flows in and out without any effort on your part. You don't have to think about breathing. Your body knows how to do this. It's been doing it since the moment you were born, and right now, in this moment, you can simply notice it. Notice where your body makes contact with the surface beneath you. Feel your shoulders, your back, your hips, all supported and held. Let your jaw soften if it's clenched. Let your tongue rest gently in your mouth. Let your eyes, if they're still open, become heavy and slow. This pull toward home, this preference for familiar spaces, it makes complete sense when you understand how your nervous system works. You're not avoiding life. You're honouring your body's need for regulated, predictable, safe environments, and there's wisdom in that. There's self-knowledge in that. You've learned what you need and you're giving it to yourself. That's not weakness. That's actually a form of strength, a form of self-care that many people never develop because they're too busy trying to be what they think they should be instead of what they actually are. You don't need to solve anything about this tonight. You don't need to analyze it or justify it or explain it to anyone. You can simply know that it makes sense, that your body and mind are working together in intelligent ways, and let yourself rest. Let the thoughts begin to slow down. Let your body sink a little deeper into the comfort beneath you. You're safe here. You're home. You can let go. And as you do, as you allow yourself to settle even more deeply, you might begin to notice something else about why home feels the way it does, something about the energy it takes to be out in the world. What many people don't understand about those who prefer staying home is that socializing has a very real energetic cost. Every interaction, no matter how pleasant, requires a certain amount of regulatory effort. You're reading facial expressions, modulating tone, tracking conversation threads, managing your own presentation. For some people, this feels effortless, even energizing. For others, and perhaps for you, this requires substantial internal resources. And there's nothing wrong with that. It simply means your nervous system processes social information more intensively, which means you need more recovery time afterward. The psychologist Carl Jung was one of the first to make this distinction clear. He noticed that some people gain energy from social interaction, while others expend energy during social interaction. He called these two patterns extroversion and introversion. But these aren't just personality types. They reflect genuine differences in how the brain processes stimulation. Introverted nervous systems are more sensitive to dopamine, that neurotransmitter associated with reward and pleasure. This means they reach optimal stimulation with less external input. What feels exciting and energizing to an extrovert can feel overwhelming and exhausting to an introvert. Not because the introvert is weaker or less capable, but because their nervous system is calibrated differently. When you're out in social situations, your brain is working constantly. It's reading micro-expressions on people's faces, trying to determine their emotional states. It's tracking the flow of conversation, anticipating when it's your turn to speak. It's monitoring your own behavior, making sure you're responding appropriately, presenting yourself in ways that feel acceptable. It's managing sensory input, the noise of multiple conversations, the visual stimulation of movement and light, the physical proximity of other bodies. All of this requires neural processing power, And for someone with an introverted, sensitive nervous system, this processing is intensive. It drains your battery in ways that solitude does not. This doesn't mean you don't enjoy people. Many people who prefer staying home have rich, meaningful friendships. But these friendships work best in small doses, in controlled environments, with people who understand that you need space to recharge. What depletes you is not connection itself. It's the performance of connection, the maintenance of social presence in large groups or unpredictable settings. At home, you don't have to perform. You can simply be. Notice your hands right now. Are they relaxed or are they holding tension? Let your fingers uncurl if they're gripped. Let your palms open. Let your wrists soften. Feel the weight of your arms heavy against the bed, sinking down with gravity. Your whole body can release now. There's no one watching. There's no one to impress. You can let yourself be completely, authentically relaxed. This energetic cost of socializing is real, and it's important to honor it. For years you may have pushed through it, forcing yourself to attend events that drained you, maintaining social schedules that left you exhausted. You may have wondered what was wrong with you, why you couldn't keep up the way others seem to, but nothing is wrong with you. You simply have different energetic needs. Your nervous system requires more downtime to process the social information it takes in, and home is where that downtime happens most effectively. Understanding this can bring such relief. It means you don't have to force yourself into patterns that don't fit. You don't have to feel guilty for declining invitations or choosing a quiet evening over a crowded event. You're not being antisocial, you're being honest about your capacity. And that honesty, that willingness to know yourself and honour what you discover, that's actually quite rare and valuable. You don't need to think about this anymore tonight. You don't need to analyse your social patterns or plan how to explain yourself to others. You can simply rest in the knowledge that you make sense, that your preferences are valid, that your need for home and solitude is legitimate. Let yourself drift now, deeper into relaxation. Let your breathing slow. Let your thoughts become softer, quieter, less urgent. You're safe. You can rest. You're held. And as you sink deeper into this peace, something else emerges, something about the world's expectations and how they might not match what you actually need. Somewhere along the way, culture decided that a full life must be a public life. That experiences only count if they're shared, witnessed, documented. And this creates a quiet pressure for people who genuinely prefer solitude. You may have felt it, that small voice asking if you're missing something, if you should push yourself harder, if your contentment at home is somehow less valid than someone else's excitement about going out. But this is where we need to pause and recognize something important. Fulfillment is not measured by frequency of outings. It's measured by alignment with your authentic needs. Social media has intensified this pressure exponentially. Every day you see curated images of other people's adventures, their gatherings, their experiences out in the world, and these images can create a false sense that everyone else is living fuller, richer, more meaningful lives. But what you're seeing is highlight reels, carefully selected moments that represent a tiny fraction of anyone's actual experience. You're not seeing the exhaustion after the event, the forced smiles, the moments of disconnection even in the middle of a crowd. You're seeing performance, not reality. The concept of FOMO, fear of missing out, has become so pervasive that it's now considered a normal part of modern life. But this fear is built on a fundamentally flawed premise. It assumes that value exists only in external experiences. That meaning can only be found in doing, going, participating in public ways. But this simply isn't true. Some of the most profound experiences of human life happen in solitude. Deep reflection, creative work, spiritual contemplation, genuine rest, all of these require time alone. They require space away from the noise and stimulation of the social world. You're not missing out when you choose home. You're opting into a different kind of richness. You're choosing depth over breadth, quality over quantity, internal experience over external performance. And this choice is just as valid, just as valuable as any other way of living. The monks who spent their lives in contemplation, the writers who worked in solitude, the artists who needed silence to create, they weren't missing out. They were accessing dimensions of human experience that only become available in quiet. Feel your breath now, moving gently through your body. Feel how your belly rises with each inhale, falls with each exhale. Notice the slight pause between breaths, that moment of perfect stillness. You don't have to change anything. You don't have to do anything. You can simply notice, simply be present with what's already happening. Your shoulders can drop a little more, your face can soften, your whole body can settle more deeply into rest. The truth is that fulfillment looks different for different people. For some, it comes through adventure and novelty and constant social engagement. For others, it comes through routine and familiarity and sustained solitude. Neither is better. Neither is more evolved or more admirable. They're simply different paths, different ways of being human. And the path that's right for you is the one that makes you feel most alive, most authentic, most at peace. If that's a path that leads you home more often than not, then that's exactly where you should be. This doesn't mean you never go out or never engage socially. It means you do these things intentionally, selectively, in ways that honor your capacity rather than deplete it. You choose the gatherings that matter. You invest your energy in the people who nourish you, and you protect your solitude because you understand its value. This is discernment, not avoidance. This is wisdom, not fear. You don't need to defend this anymore. You don't need to justify your choices or apologize for your preferences. You can let go of the comparison, the measuring yourself against other people's ways of living. You can simply know that you are enough, exactly as you are, with exactly the needs and preferences you have. Let this truth settle into you now. Let it become part of your rest. You're safe. You're valid. You're allowed to be exactly who you are. And as you drift deeper into sleep, you might notice something else about home, about how you've shaped it to meet needs you might not have even consciously recognized. Your home is not just familiar, it's calibrated. Over time, consciously or unconsciously, you've created an environment where sensory input is manageable. The lighting is right. The sounds are predictable. The temperature is comfortable. The textures are known. This might seem like a small thing, but for someone with a sensitive nervous system, this matters profoundly. Out in the world, you're constantly adjusting to sensory input you didn't choose. Fluorescent lights, unpredictable noise levels, uncomfortable seating, unfamiliar smells. These aren't just preferences, they're regulatory challenges. Your nervous system is constantly processing sensory information. Light levels, sound frequencies, temperature variations, tactile sensations. All of this data streams into your brain every moment you're awake. For some people, this processing happens in the background with minimal conscious awareness. For others, particularly those with sensitive nervous systems, sensory input can feel overwhelming. Bright lights can feel almost painful. Loud or chaotic noise can make it hard to think. Strong smells can trigger nausea. Uncomfortable textures can create constant low-level irritation. At home, you've eliminated or minimized these challenges. You've chosen lighting that doesn't strain your eyes. You've controlled the ambient sound, whether that means silence or specific types of music or white noise. You've adjusted the temperature to your comfort. You've selected furniture and fabrics that feel good against your skin. All of these small choices add up to create an environment where your sensory system can relax, where it doesn't have to constantly filter and adjust and compensate. This sensory regulation is particularly important for people who experience what researchers call sensory processing sensitivity. This is a trait found in about 20% of the population, characterized by deeper processing of sensory information, greater awareness of subtleties in the environment, and stronger emotional responses to stimuli. If you have this trait, and many people who prefer staying home do, then your nervous system is literally taking in more information and processing it more thoroughly than less sensitive systems. This isn't a disorder, it's a variation, a different way of experiencing the world. But it means you need environments where sensory input is controlled. Notice your body now, how it's resting in this space you've created. Feel the surface beneath you, the way it supports your weight. Notice the air on your skin, its temperature, its movement or stillness. Notice the sounds around you, whether they're silence or gentle ambient noise. All of this is information your nervous system is processing. But because you're home, because this is your calibrated environment, that processing can happen peacefully. Your system doesn't have to work so hard. It can simply receive and rest. Public spaces are designed for the average nervous system, which means they often overstimulate sensitive ones. Restaurants are too loud, their lighting too harsh. Shopping centres bombard you with visual stimulation, competing sounds, artificial fragrances. Even offices with their fluorescent lighting and open floor plans and constant background noise can be sensory assault courses for someone with a sensitive system. By the time you get home, you're not just socially drained, you're sensorily exhausted. And this exhaustion is real. It's not weakness or intolerance or inability to cope. It's a physiological response to overstimulation. Your nervous system can only process so much before it needs to rest and recover. Home is where that recovery happens. Home is where your senses can finally relax, where you don't have to filter out so much noise and light and stimulation. You can simply be in an environment that fits your nervous system instead of fighting it. Let your jaw soften now. Let your tongue rest easy in your mouth. Let the muscles around your eyes release any tension they're holding. Let your forehead smooth. Your whole face can be soft and peaceful now. There's nothing to do, nothing to monitor, nothing to adjust. You can simply rest here, in this space that knows you, that's shaped to your needs. Understanding this sensory dimension helps explain why home feels so restorative. It's not just about being alone. It's about being in an environment where your nervous system doesn't have to work so hard, where you can finally stop compensating, stop filtering, stop adjusting. You can simply exist in sensory peace. And that peace, that reduction of stimulation, allows your whole system to drop into deeper states of rest and restoration. You don't need to think about this anymore. You don't need to analyze your sensory needs or plan how to communicate them to others. You can simply rest in the knowledge that your home serves you well, that you've created something valuable, something that truly supports your well-being. Let yourself sink deeper now. Let your breathing slow even more. Let your thoughts become quiet and distant. You're safe. You're comfortable. You're exactly where you need to be. And as you drift, you might become aware of something else. Something about how your brain itself works differently. About why certain kinds of stimulation feel different to you than they do to others. Neuroscience has shown us something fascinating about introverted brains. They process dopamine differently than extroverted brains. While extroverts seek external stimulation to feel rewarded, introverts can feel overstimulated by the same level of input. This means that what feels exciting to one person can feel overwhelming to another, not because of personality flaw, but because of neurological difference. Your preference for home isn't about being less adventurous. It's about honoring how your brain actually processes reward and stimulation. Dopamine is a neurotransmitter, a chemical messenger in the brain that's associated with pleasure, reward, and motivation. When you do something your brain considers rewarding, dopamine is released, creating a sense of satisfaction and encouraging you to repeat that behavior. But here's what's fascinating. Introverted and extroverted brains have different sensitivity to dopamine. Introverted brains are more responsive to dopamine, which means they reach optimal levels of stimulation with less external input. Too much dopamine, and they become overstimulated, anxious, overwhelmed. Extroverted brains, on the other hand, are less sensitive to dopamine. They need more external stimulation to reach optimal arousal levels. This is why extroverts often seek out novelty, social interaction, exciting experiences. Their brains require more input to feel satisfied and engaged. But for introverted brains, that same level of stimulation can push them past their optimal point into overstimulation. What feels energizing to an extrovert can feel exhausting to an introvert, not because of different effort or attitude, but because of different neurological responses to stimulation. There's also a difference in which neural pathways are dominant. Introverted brains tend to use longer, more complex neural pathways, particularly those associated with internal processing and long-term memory, This means they spend more time in internal reflection, processing experiences more thoroughly, thinking more deeply about what they encounter. Extroverted brains tend to use shorter neural pathways associated with external processing and sensory experience. They're more oriented toward the external world, processing experiences more quickly and moving on to the next source of stimulation. Neither pattern is better. They're simply different ways the brain can organize itself. But understanding these differences helps explain why home feels so nourishing to you. At home, you can operate at your optimal stimulation level. You can engage with the world on your own terms, at your own pace. You're not being pushed into overstimulation by environments designed for different nervous systems. You can honor your brain's need for lower levels of external input and higher levels of internal processing. Feel your breath moving through you now, slow and easy. Feel how your chest rises and falls in its own natural rhythm. You don't have to think about it. Your body knows exactly what to do. Notice how heavy your arms feel, your legs, your whole body sinking deeper into rest. Let your eyes, if they're still open, become heavier, the lids drooping ready to close. This neurological understanding removes judgment from the equation. You're not being antisocial or avoiding life when you choose home. You're honoring your brain's actual architecture, its real needs and capacities. You're working with your neurology instead of against it. And that's not just acceptable, it's actually intelligent. It's self-awareness translated into action. Many of the most creative, thoughtful, innovative people throughout history have been introverts who needed substantial time alone. They understood, whether consciously or intuitively, that their best work happened in solitude, that their brains needed quiet to function optimally. They weren't damaged or limited. They were aligned with their own neurological reality, and so are you. You don't need to understand all the neuroscience. You don't need to explain your brain chemistry to anyone. You can simply know that you make sense, that your preferences reflect genuine biological differences, not character flaws. Let this truth settle into your body now. Let it release any remaining tension you might be holding about who you are or how you live. You're exactly as you should be. You're honoring your truth, and you can rest completely in that knowledge. Let yourself drift deeper now, softer, quieter, into the peace of self-acceptance. And as you do, you might notice something about the quality of thinking that happens when you're alone, about what becomes possible in sustained solitude. There's a particular kind of thinking that only happens in sustained solitude, the kind where your mind can wander without interruption, where ideas can develop without performance pressure, where your internal world has space to unfold. Many of the most creative people throughout history were deeply solitary, not because they disliked people, but because creativity requires a certain kind of mental space that social interaction naturally disrupts. If you've noticed that your best ideas, your clearest thoughts, your most meaningful reflections happen when you're alone, this isn't coincidence. Creativity researchers have long observed that breakthrough insights rarely happen in the middle of busy social environments. They happen in the shower, on solitary walks, in the quiet moments before sleep, during long stretches of uninterrupted time alone. This is because creative thinking requires a state of mind called diffuse mode, where the brain makes loose associations, connects disparate ideas, explores possibilities without immediately judging them. This mode is fragile. It requires mental space, freedom from immediate demands, absence of social performance pressure. When you're with other people, even people you love, your brain is necessarily in a more focused, externally oriented state. You're tracking conversation, responding to social cues, managing the flow of interaction. This focused mode is valuable for many things, but it's not where creativity happens. Creativity needs the wandering, associative, internally focused state that emerges in solitude. It needs you to be free from the need to make sense to anyone else, free to follow strange connections, free to think thoughts that might sound odd if spoken aloud. Many writers, artists, scientists, and philosophers have spoken about their need for solitude. Virginia Woolf wrote about needing a room of one's own. Emily Dickinson barely left her house for decades. Albert Einstein would spend hours alone, thinking through problems without interruption. These weren't antisocial people avoiding the world. They were people who understood that their best work, their deepest thinking, required sustained time alone. You might recognize this in your own life. Perhaps you've noticed that your most creative solutions to problems come when you're alone, when you've had time to think without interruption. Perhaps your deepest self-understanding emerges in solitary reflection. Perhaps the ideas you're most excited about develop during quiet evenings at home, not during social gatherings. This is your mind accessing its diffuse mode, its creative capacity, its ability to think beyond the immediate and obvious. Notice how quiet your mind is becoming now. Notice how thoughts are slowing down, becoming softer, less urgent. Feel how your whole body is settling, sinking deeper into the surface beneath you. Your breath is so gentle now, barely there. Just this soft rise and fall. Let your attention drift, loose and easy, with nothing to focus on, nothing to figure out. Solitude also allows for deeper self-reflection. When you're alone, you can check in with yourself honestly. How am I really feeling? What do I actually think about this? What do I need right now? These questions are hard to answer in the middle of social interaction because you're necessarily oriented outward, toward others. But in solitude, you can turn inward. You can develop self-knowledge, understand your own patterns and preferences, learn to recognize your authentic responses versus your conditioned ones. This self-knowledge is profound. It's the foundation of authentic living, and it can only develop through regular time alone, regular periods of looking inward without the distraction of external demands. People who love staying home often have a depth of self-understanding that more socially oriented people may lack. They've spent the time necessary to know themselves, to understand their own complexity, to develop an internal life that's rich and nuanced. This isn't selfishness or self-absorption. It's self-awareness. And self-awareness is actually the foundation of genuine connection with others. When you know yourself, when you understand your own needs and limits and values, you can show up more authentically in relationships. You're not performing or pretending. You're bringing your real self, informed by all that time you've spent in self-reflection. Let yourself sink even deeper now. Let your jaw release completely. Let your shoulders melt down. Let every muscle in your body soften and release. You don't need to hold on to these thoughts. You don't need to remember or analyze or integrate. You can simply know that your love of solitude serves you well, that it gives you access to parts of yourself and kinds of thinking that are valuable and real. Let this understanding be enough. Let yourself rest now, deeply and completely. And as you drift further into sleep, you might become aware of something about your history, about why home might mean something specific and precious to you. For many people who love staying home, there's a history worth acknowledging. Perhaps you grew up in chaos, where home wasn't safe or calm. Perhaps you spent years overextending yourself, trying to meet social expectations that never quite fit. Perhaps you've experienced burnout from work, relationships, or simply from living in a world that moves faster than your natural pace. And now, home represents something precious. It represents recovery. It represents the space you never had. This isn't regression, it's restoration. If you grew up in a home that felt unpredictable or unsafe, if childhood was marked by chaos or conflict or instability, then creating your own peaceful home as an adult carries particular significance. You're not just choosing comfort. You're actively creating what you never had. You're building the sanctuary that every child deserves, but not every child receives. This is profound work, even if it looks from the outside like you're simply staying in a lot. Some people who love home are recovering from years of overextension. Maybe you spent your 20s or 30s trying to be someone you weren't, maintaining a social schedule that depleted you, pushing yourself to meet expectations that never felt authentic. Maybe you burned out from trying so hard. And now you're learning, perhaps for the first time, to live according to your actual needs and rhythms rather than external demands. This isn't giving up. This is finally coming home to yourself. Or perhaps you've been through significant trauma or loss, experiences that changed your relationship with the world, that made external environments feel less safe, that increased your need for controlled, predictable spaces. Trauma affects the nervous system profoundly, often making it more sensitive, more reactive, more easily overwhelmed. For trauma survivors, home can be essential as a place of regulation, where the nervous system can finally begin to settle and heal. Whatever your history, it has shaped your present needs, and those needs are valid. You're not weak for needing what you need. You're responsive. You're listening to your system's signals and honouring them. This is actually sophisticated self-care, even if the world sometimes treats it as limitation. Notice your breath now, how soft it's become. Feel the gentle movement in your chest, the quiet rise and fall. Let your whole body be heavy and still, sinking deeper into rest. Let your mind become quiet, thoughts fading into the background, barely there anymore. You're safe here. You can rest completely. Home as recovery space is completely legitimate. You don't have to be over your past or healed from your experiences to deserve a peaceful environment. You can take all the time you need. you can create a life that honors your actual capacity rather than some idealized version of who you think you should be. This is compassion directed toward yourself. This is wisdom. And if your love of home is relatively new, if it's emerged after years of being more outgoing and social, that's okay too. We change. Our needs evolve. What worked for you at 20 might not work at 30 or 40 or 50. You're allowed to change. You're allowed to discover that you need different things now than you needed before. This isn't regression. It's evolution. Let all of this rest now. Let your history be what it is, neither good nor bad, just the path that brought you here. You don't need to analyze it or resolve it or fully understand it tonight. You can simply acknowledge that it's part of your story and that your current needs make sense in the context of that story. Let yourself sink deeper into peace now, into the safety of this moment, into the comfort of home. You're exactly where you need to be, and as you drift even further into sleep, something else emerges about the relationships you do have, about their quality and depth. Here's something that surprises people. Those who prefer staying home often have deeper relationships, not shallower ones. Because they're selective. They invest their limited social energy into fewer people, which means those relationships receive more attention, more presence, more genuine connection. You may not have dozens of casual friends, but the friendships you do have might be remarkably intimate. This is not a deficit. This is simply a different model of relationship, one that prioritizes depth over breadth. The modern world often measures social success by quantity. How many friends do you have? How large is your social network? How many events do you attend? But these metrics miss something essential about the quality of connection. You can know hundreds of people superficially and still feel profoundly lonely. Or you can have a handful of deep friendships and feel completely seen and understood. The number matters less than the depth. People who love home tend to invest their relational energy differently. They may not maintain large friend groups or attend frequent social gatherings, but when they do connect, they connect fully. They're present. They listen deeply. They remember details. They show up in meaningful ways. Their friendships may be quieter, but they're often more substantive. There's real intimacy there, real knowing of each other. This selective approach to friendship also means better boundaries. You're not trying to be everything to everyone. You're not spreading yourself so thin that you have nothing substantial to offer anyone. You're choosing a few people who really matter and giving them your genuine presence. This is actually more generous than constant superficial availability. You're offering quality instead of quantity. Research on friendship shows that relationship satisfaction is more strongly correlated with depth than breadth. Having one truly close friend provides more psychological well-being than having 20 acquaintances. The intimacy, the sense of being known and accepted, the ability to be vulnerable and authentic, these are what nourish us relationally. And these qualities develop more easily in smaller, more intentional relationships. Feel your hands now, completely relaxed, fingers loose and easy. Feel your arms, heavy and still. Let your legs sink deeper, your feet release completely. Your whole body can rest now, held and supported, nothing to do, nowhere to go, just this breathing, just this resting, just this gentle drifting deeper into peace. Your way of relating isn't wrong or insufficient, it's simply different, and it may actually be more suited to genuine intimacy than the broader, shallower model that culture often promotes. You're not missing out on connection. You're accessing it in a different way, a way that honours your capacity and creates space for real depth. The people who truly know you, who've earned their place in your inner circle, they understand this about you. They don't demand constant availability. They don't measure your friendship by how often you go out. They value your presence when you offer it, and they respect your need for space when you require it. These are mature, understanding relationships built on acceptance rather than expectation. Let this understanding settle into you now. You're not failing at relationships. You're succeeding at them in your own way. You're creating connections that truly nourish you rather than deplete you. And that's exactly what relationships should do. They should add to your life, not drain it. Let yourself rest in this knowledge. Let it release any guilt you might be carrying about not being more social, more available, more outgoing. You're enough. Your relationships are enough. Everything is exactly as it should be. Let yourself drift now, deeper and softer, into the peace of self-acceptance, into the comfort of knowing you're doing relationships in a way that truly works for you. And here is where we begin to soften a little more deeply. Because somewhere in your life you may have absorbed the message that rest needs to be earned, that staying home is only acceptable after you've done enough, been enough, tried enough. But this message isn't true. Rest is not a reward for productivity. It's a biological necessity. Your body needs downtime, your nervous system needs recovery, your mind needs silence. And you don't have to justify this to anyone, not even to yourself. The modern world operates on a productivity paradigm that treats rest as something to be minimized, something that only matters insofar as it enables more work, more output, more achievement. But this paradigm is deeply flawed. Rest isn't just preparation for productivity. Rest has intrinsic value. It's when your body repairs itself. It's when your mind processes and integrates experience. It's when your nervous system recalibrates and restores itself. Without adequate rest, you can't function well in any domain of life, no matter how productive you try to be. Your need for home time, for solitude, for quiet evenings without demands, this isn't laziness, it's wisdom. Your body is telling you what it needs, and you're listening. That's self-care in its truest form. You're not avoiding life or shirking responsibility. You're maintaining the foundation that makes everything else possible. There's a concept in psychology called attunement, which means being responsive to signals from your body and emotions. Children develop best when their caregivers are attuned to them, noticing and responding to their needs. As adults, we need to develop self-attunement, the ability to notice and respond to our own needs. When you honour your need for rest, for home, for solitude, you're practicing self-attunement. You're being a good caregiver to yourself. But culture makes this difficult. There's constant pressure to be doing more, achieving more, experiencing more. Rest gets pathologized as depression or avoidance. Choosing to stay home gets interpreted as missing out. Your own body's clear signals about what it needs get drowned out by external voices telling you what you should want. Breaking through this noise to actually hear and honor your needs takes courage. Notice how your body feels right now. Feel the weight of it, heavy and relaxed against the surface beneath you. Notice your breath, so soft and easy, requiring nothing from you. Feel how your shoulders have dropped, how your jaw has softened, how your whole being has settled into rest. This is your body telling you that you're exactly where you need to be. This is what safety feels like. This is what home feels like in your nervous system. You don't need permission to rest, but if you're seeking it, here it is. You're allowed to be tired. You're allowed to need quiet. You're allowed to stay home as much as you want. You're allowed to protect your energy. You're allowed to say no to things that deplete you. You're allowed to live in a way that actually fits you instead of constantly trying to fit yourself into rhythms and patterns that feel wrong. Rest is not something you earn. It's something you need, just by virtue of being alive, of being human, of having a body that requires restoration. You don't have to justify it. You don't have to prove you've worked hard enough to deserve it. You can simply rest because resting is what bodies and minds need to do regularly to function well. Let this permission sink all the way through you now. Let it release any guilt or shame you've been carrying about your preferences, about your needs, about how you choose to spend your time and energy. You're not doing anything wrong. You're doing something profoundly right. You're listening to yourself. You're caring for yourself. You're creating a life that works for you. Let yourself rest completely now, deeply and fully, with nothing to prove and nothing to justify. Just breathing, just resting, just being. You're safe. You can let go. Everything is okay. And as you sink even deeper into this peace, you might notice something about what your body has been trying to tell you all along. Notice right now how your body feels as you lie here in your own space. Notice if there's a quality of settling that happens when you're home, a softness that emerges when you're not being observed or evaluated. This is your body's wisdom speaking. Your body knows what it needs, and sometimes what it needs is exactly this: the absence of demands, the presence of safety, the freedom to simply be without adjustment or performance. Your body has been communicating with you your entire life. Through sensations, through energy levels, through comfort and discomfort, it's been telling you what works and what doesn't. When you walk into a crowded room and feel your shoulders tighten, that's communication. When you get home after a long day and feel yourself exhale deeply, that's communication. When you decline an invitation and feel relief instead of disappointment, that's communication. But we're taught to override these signals. We're taught that our feelings and sensations are less important than external expectations. We're taught to push through discomfort, to ignore fatigue, to force ourselves into situations that make our bodies contract and tense. And over time, this overriding becomes habitual. We stop even noticing what our bodies are telling us because we've learned those signals don't matter. Reconnecting with bodily wisdom means learning to listen again. It means paying attention to how different environments and activities affect you physically. Does your stomach tighten when you think about certain social events? Does your breathing become shallow in certain spaces? Do you feel energized or drained after particular types of interaction? These aren't random responses, they're information. Your body is telling you what supports your well-being and what doesn't. When you love being home, when you feel that deep sense of rightness when you walk through your door, that's not avoidance or imitation. That's your body recognizing an environment where it can function optimally, where it doesn't have to maintain high alert, where it can drop into rest and restoration. This recognition is wisdom, not weakness. Feel your feet right now, completely relaxed and still. Feel your calves, your thighs, all the muscles soft and loose. Feel your hips, your lower back, your belly, all releasing into the support beneath you. Your chest rises and falls gently with each breath. Your shoulders are soft, your neck is at ease, your jaw hangs loose, your face is smooth and peaceful. Your whole body is telling you through this deep relaxation that you're safe, that you can rest, that this is exactly where you need to be. The body's wisdom is ancient. It evolved over millions of years to keep you safe and well. Your conscious mind, with all its social conditioning and learned expectations, is very young in comparison. When your body and your mind disagree about what you should do, your body is often right. It's operating from deeper, older knowledge about what you need to survive and thrive. Honoring your body's wisdom doesn't mean never doing things that feel uncomfortable. Sometimes growth requires temporary discomfort, but it means distinguishing between growth-oriented discomfort and depletion-oriented discomfort. It means recognizing when pushing yourself serves you and when it harms you. And it means trusting that you know the difference, even when others might judge your choices. Your body has brought you home again and again, because home is where it can be most fully itself, where tension can release, where vigilance can soften, where the constant monitoring and adjusting required in public spaces can finally cease. This is sacred, this permission your body has to simply be. Honor it, trust it, let it guide you. Let yourself sink even deeper now. Let every part of your body become heavier, softer, more relaxed. There's nothing to figure out, nothing to decide, nothing to do. Just this resting, this breathing, this being. Your body knows how to do this. You can trust it completely. Let yourself drift now, deeper into peace, into the wisdom of your own being, into the safety of this moment. You don't need to think anymore. You can simply rest and let your body carry you gently into sleep. You don't need to be like the people who thrive in crowds. You don't need to force yourself into rhythms that deplete you. You don't need to apologize for knowing what nourishes you. This preference you have, this love of home, it's not something to overcome. It's something to honor. And as you rest here tonight, you can let go of any lingering judgment about this part of yourself. You can simply allow it to be true. For so long, you may have compared yourself to others, to the people who seem to draw energy from constant social engagement. The ones who are always out, always busy, always surrounded by others. You may have wondered what was wrong with you. why you couldn't be like that, why you needed so much time alone. But nothing is wrong with you. You're simply different, and different is not deficient. The comparison trap is particularly cruel for people who love solitude, because extroversion is treated as the norm in many cultures. Schools reward children who are outgoing and social. Workplaces value team players who thrive in open offices and constant collaboration. Media celebrates people with large social circles and active social lives. Against this backdrop, preferring to be alone can feel like failure. But this cultural bias toward extroversion is just that, a bias, not a truth. Introversion is not a problem to be fixed. It's a valid way of being, with its own strengths and gifts. The depth of thought that comes from sustained solitude. The creativity that emerges in quiet. The self-knowledge that develops through reflection. The quality of relationships that comes from selective intimacy. These are profound values, even if they're less visible and celebrated than extroverted qualities. You don't need to become someone else. You don't need to force yourself into an extroverted mold. You can simply be who you are, with your particular needs and preferences and rhythms. You can trust that you know what's right for you, even when it differs from what works for others. Let go of the measuring now. Let go of the comparing. Let your mind release the habit of checking yourself against other people's ways of living. You are enough, exactly as you are. Your life is valid, exactly as it is. You don't need to be different. You don't need to want different things. You can simply be yourself, and that is perfectly, completely enough. Notice your breath, so gentle now. Notice how little effort it takes, how your body breathes itself without any thought or intention from you. This is what it's like when you stop trying to be someone you're not. Everything becomes easier, more natural, more effortless. You can simply be, without strain or performance or constant self-monitoring. Release the judgment now. Release any shame about preferring home. Release any guilt about not being more social. Release any anxiety about missing out or falling behind. None of it serves you. None of it's true. You're living exactly the life that fits you. You're honoring your authentic needs. You're being true to yourself. And that is the only measure that matters. Let this truth settle all the way through you. Let it release the last bits of tension you might be holding. You're okay. You're more than okay. You're exactly who you should be, living exactly the way you should live. Let yourself rest completely in this acceptance. Let yourself drift deeper into peace, into the comfort of self-acceptance, into the freedom of knowing you're enough. There's a richness in the small rituals of home that people often overlook. The morning coffee in familiar light, the evening settling into your favourite spot, the freedom to move at your own pace without anyone watching. These moments aren't empty just because they're quiet. They're full because they're yours. And that fullness, that sense of being exactly where you want to be, is a kind of joy that doesn't need to be loud to be real. Joy takes many forms. There's the excitement of novelty, the rush of adventure, the energy of crowds and celebration. These are valid forms of joy. But there's also the quieter joy of contentment, of being at peace, of simple rituals and familiar comforts. This quieter joy is no less real, no less valuable. It's simply different. When you pour your morning coffee and stand at your window watching light move across your space, there's joy in that. When you settle into your favourite chair at the end of the day, wrapping yourself in a blanket, finally able to relax, there's joy in that. When you move through your evening routine, the small rituals that signal the day is ending and rest is coming, there's joy in that. These moments matter. They nourish something deep. The world often treats these quiet pleasures as insufficient, as settling, as less than. But this is wrong. These moments of simple contentment, of being at peace in your own space, of enjoying ordinary routines in familiar surroundings, they're actually profound. They're what life is mostly made of. The big moments, the exciting events, those are rare. What fills the days is these smaller moments, and if you can find joy in them, if you can feel genuinely content in the simple ritual of being home, you've discovered something that many people spend their whole lives seeking. There's no one watching to validate these moments. No one is impressed by your ability to enjoy a quiet evening. There are no photos to post, no stories to tell, no external confirmation that this matters. But it does matter. It matters to you. It matters to your well-being. It matters to the quality of your life. And that's enough. Feel how relaxed you are now, how at peace. This is what those moments feel like. This contentment, this sense of being exactly where you want to be. No striving, no performing, no seeking something else somewhere else. Just this, just being, just resting in the simple satisfaction of enough. Your life doesn't have to be impressive to others. It doesn't have to look good from the outside. It just has to feel right to you. And if what feels right is quiet mornings and peaceful evenings and time alone in your own space, then that's what your life should be. Those moments of simple contentment are your life well lived, regardless of what anyone else thinks or values. Let yourself sink deeper into this peace now. Let your body become even heavier, even more relaxed. Let your mind quiet completely, thoughts dissolving like mist. There's nowhere else you need to be, nothing else you need to do. Just this breathing, just this resting, just this simple being. You're safe, you're home, you're exactly where you belong. And as you drift deeper into sleep, you might become aware of how your nervous system has been guiding you all along. Your nervous system has been guiding you all along. It's been telling you through sensation, through energy levels, through that sense of relief when you're home, what it needs to stay regulated, and you've been listening. That's not weakness, that's attunement. That's you paying attention to your own internal experience instead of overriding it with what you think you should want. Regulation is a nervous system term that refers to the ability to maintain balance, to return to equilibrium after stress or activation. A well-regulated nervous system can respond to challenges and then settle back into calm. But regulation requires specific conditions. It requires safety. It requires predictability. It requires environments where threat is minimal and resources are available. For many people, home is the primary environment where true regulation can happen, where the nervous system can finally stop scanning for threats and settle into genuine rest. This isn't about avoiding the world. It's about having a secure base from which to engage with the world and to which you can return for restoration. Your nervous system has been communicating its needs to you through the way different environments feel. The tightness in social situations that feel wrong. The relief of declining invitations that would deplete you. The deep settling that happens when you close your door and know you're home for the evening. All of these sensations are information about what your system needs to function well. And you've been listening. You've been honouring those signals instead of overriding them. This is actually sophisticated self-care. Many people spend their entire lives ignoring their nervous system's signals, pushing through discomfort, forcing themselves into situations that dysregulate them. They end up chronically stressed, anxious, depleted. You've chosen differently. You've chosen attunement. Feel that attunement now in your body. Feel how relaxed you are, how at peace. This is what a regulated nervous system feels like. Calm, easeful, at rest. Your heart rate is slow and steady. Your breathing is deep and natural. Your muscles are soft. Your mind is quiet. This is your nervous system in its optimal state, and it's reached this state because you're home, because you're safe, because you've honoured its needs. This doesn't mean you never leave home or never challenge yourself, but it means you return. You give your system the recovery time it requires. You balance activation with rest. You don't deplete yourself beyond your capacity to restore. This is wisdom. This is maturity. This is taking responsibility for your own well-being in the deepest way. Let yourself appreciate this about yourself now. You've learned to listen to your body, to trust its signals, to honour its needs. This is a skill many people never develop. You've developed it. You're using it. You're creating a life that actually supports your nervous system instead of constantly straining it. This matters. This is significant. This is you taking care of yourself in ways that are real and important. Let this appreciation wash through you now. You're doing well. You're doing what you need to do. You're honouring yourself in ways that truly matter. Let yourself rest completely in this knowledge. Let your body sink even deeper, knowing it's safe, knowing it's cared for, knowing you're listening and responding to what it needs. You can drift now, deeper and softer, into complete rest, trusting yourself completely. At home, you don't have to be anyone but yourself. You don't have to monitor your expressions, modulate your energy, or consider how you're being perceived. This freedom is profound. It allows your nervous system to drop into a state of genuine relaxation, the kind that only happens when you're not being evaluated. And your body remembers this. It craves this. It needs this. Performance is exhausting. Even when you're not consciously aware of it, even when it feels natural, there's a cost to monitoring yourself, to managing how you're coming across, to adjusting your behaviour to fit the social context. These constant self-monitoring is called self-consciousness, and it requires energy and attention that could otherwise be directed inward toward rest and restoration. At home, you can drop the performance. You can let your face relax into its natural expressions. You can wear what's comfortable instead of what's presentable. You can move at your own pace, make sounds without self-consciousness, exist without concern for how you appear. This freedom allows a particular kind of relaxation that's impossible in public spaces. There's also freedom in not having to manage social dynamics. No need to make conversation when you don't feel like it. No need to appear interested or engaged when you're not. No need to be cheerful or upbeat or positive when you're feeling neutral or down. You can simply be however you are, without adjustment or explanation. This authenticity, this permission to be fully yourself without performance, this is what allows deep rest. Your nervous system can completely let go. It doesn't have to maintain any vigilance about how you're being perceived. It doesn't have to work to present an acceptable version of you to the world. It can simply be in its raw, unedited state. Notice how fully relaxed you are now. Your face is completely soft, no expression maintained, just resting in its natural state. Your body is positioned however it's most comfortable, not how it would look best. You're wearing what feels good, not what looks good. You're completely yourself, without any performance layer. This is freedom. This is what home gives you. Your body craves this freedom. After hours or days of social performance, of managing how you present to the world, your system needs this. It needs to drop the mask, release the tension of constant self-monitoring, exist without evaluation. This isn't laziness or antisocial behavior. This is a biological need for authenticity and rest. And you've created a space where this need can be met, where you can be fully, completely yourself without any concern for how that appears to others. This is precious. This is a gift you've given yourself, a place where performance ends and genuine being begins. Let yourself feel that gift now. Feel how safe it is to be completely yourself, how relaxing it is to stop performing, how peaceful it is to exist without evaluation. Your whole body can rest in this safety. Your whole being can settle into this freedom. You don't have to be anything other than exactly what you are, and that is enough. That is more than enough. Let yourself drift deeper now into this safety, this freedom, this complete acceptance of yourself exactly as you are. Loving home also means you've learned something important about boundaries. You've learned that it's okay to say no. It's okay to protect your energy. It's okay to choose yourself even when others don't understand. These boundaries aren't walls, they're acts of self-care, and they've allowed you to create a life that actually fits you, rather than constantly trying to fit yourself into someone else's vision of what life should look like. Boundaries are often misunderstood as selfish or unkind, but healthy boundaries are actually essential for well-being. They're how you protect your energy and resources. They're how you ensure you have something left for what truly matters. They're how you maintain the capacity to show up authentically instead of becoming depleted and resentful. When you say no to an invitation that would drain you, you're not being antisocial. You're being honest about your capacity. When you decline plans to stay home instead, you're not avoiding life. You're choosing what nourishes you over what depletes you. When you protect your evening or weekend time for solitude, you're not being selfish. You're ensuring you have the restoration time you need to function well. These boundaries allow you to create a life that actually works for you. Instead of constantly overextending yourself, trying to meet external expectations, forcing yourself into rhythms that feel wrong, you're choosing based on your authentic needs. You're saying yes to what truly matters to you, and no to what doesn't. This is integrity. This is self-knowledge translated into action. It may have taken time to develop these boundaries. You may have years of saying yes when you meant no, of overriding your own needs to avoid disappointing others, of forcing yourself into situations that left you depleted. But you've learned. You've developed the capacity to honor yourself, even when it means saying no, even when others don't understand. This capacity for healthy boundaries often develops alongside self-knowledge. As you become clearer about what you need, you become better able to protect it. As you understand your limits, you become more willing to enforce them. As you recognize your authentic preferences, you become less willing to override them for external approval. Feel how much lighter this makes you. How much easier life becomes when you're not constantly forcing yourself into situations that drain you. How much more energy you have when you're not depleting yourself to meet others' expectations. This is the gift of boundaries. This is what they create. Space for your actual life. Room for what truly nourishes you. Let yourself appreciate this capacity you've developed. This ability to know what you need and protect it. This willingness to say no even when it's uncomfortable. This courage to choose yourself. You've created a life that fits you. You've honored your truth. You've maintained your boundaries. This is strength. This is wisdom. This is you taking care of yourself in the most fundamental way. Let this appreciation settle all the way through you now. You're doing well. You're living with integrity. You're honoring yourself. Let your body rest completely in this knowledge. Let yourself drift deeper, knowing you're safe, knowing you're cared for, knowing your boundaries hold and protect you. Everything is okay. You can rest now, completely and fully, just breathing, just resting, just being. And now, let yourself sink a little deeper into this rest. Let your body become heavier against the surface beneath you. Let your thoughts slow down, becoming softer, quieter, less urgent. There's nothing you need to figure out tonight. Nothing you need to defend or explain. You can simply be here, in this space you've chosen, in this stillness you've allowed. This is the threshold, this place where understanding begins to dissolve into pure rest. You've learned enough tonight. You've understood enough about why home matters to you, why solitude nourishes you, why your preferences make sense. Now it's time to let all of that settle, to let it fade into the background while your body takes over, while sleep begins its gentle approach. Let your jaw soften even more. Let your tongue rest easy in your mouth. Let the muscles around your eyes release completely. Your forehead can be smooth and peaceful. Your whole face can rest now. No expression held, just complete softening. Feel your shoulders, how they've dropped and released. Feel your upper back, your chest, your belly, all soft and at ease. Your breathing is so gentle now, barely noticeable. Just this soft rise and fall. Let your hips release. Let your legs be heavy, sinking down. Let your feet rest completely. There's nothing you need to hold on to. Nothing you need to remember or understand or figure out. You can simply be here, breathing, resting, allowing yourself to drift towards sleep. Your body knows how to do this. It's been doing it your whole life. You can trust it completely. Let yourself sink deeper now, deeper than before, deeper into relaxation, deeper into peace, deeper into the safety of this moment. You're home. You're safe. You can rest completely. Just breathing. Just resting. Just being. Everything is okay. Everything can wait. You can sleep now. These reasons we've explored, these patterns and preferences, they don't need to be explained anymore tonight. They can simply exist the way you exist, without justification. Your love of home makes sense. Your need for solitude makes sense. Your preference for quiet makes sense. And you can let all of this be true while you drift deeper into sleep. You've learned that your nervous system needs home to regulate. You've learned that your brain processes stimulation differently. You've learned that solitude nourishes your creativity and self-knowledge. You've learned that your boundaries protect what matters. All of this makes sense. All of this fits together. You understand yourself now in ways that bring peace instead of questions. And now you can let it all go. You can let these understandings rest, settling into your being without needing active thought. They're part of you now. They don't need rehearsal or reinforcement. They can simply be known quietly in the background while you drift into sleep. Feel how heavy your body is now, how deeply relaxed, how completely at rest. Your breath is so soft, barely moving. Just this gentle tide of air in and out. Your heartbeat is slow and steady. Your muscles are loose and soft. Everything in you is settling, releasing, letting go. You don't need to stay awake to understand yourself. You don't need to keep thinking to integrate what you've learned. Your body and mind do that work while you sleep. You can simply rest now. Simply drift. Simply let go of wakefulness and thought and conscious awareness. Let yourself sink deeper still, like a stone settling through water, down and down into peaceful depths, like snow falling on silent ground, soft and gentle, dissolving into stillness. You're safe. You can rest. You can sleep now, deeper and deeper into peace. Notice your feet, how they've stopped moving, how they rest completely. Notice your legs, heavy and still. Notice your belly rising and falling with each breath, needing nothing, doing nothing but breathing. Notice your chest, your shoulders, your jaw. All of it settling, all of it safe, all of it home. This is where you belong, in this stillness, in this safety, in this complete rest. Your body knows this. It recognizes home not just as a place, but as a state, this deep settling, this profound relaxation, this permission to simply be without doing or performing or striving. Feel how your legs are so heavy now, like stone, sinking deeper into the surface beneath you. Feel your hips, your back, your shoulders, all melting down, supported completely. Your arms are like water, flowing down, soft and loose. Your hands are open, fingers relaxed. Your whole body is dissolving into rest. Your breath is barely there now. Just the faintest movement, in and out, so gentle, so easy, no effort at all. Just this soft tide, this quiet rhythm, carrying you deeper into sleep. Let your mind rest too. Let thoughts fade like sounds from a distant room, barely heard, barely there. Nothing to think about, nothing to figure out, nothing to hold on to, just this drifting, this sinking, this gentle dissolution into sleep. You're safe here, so safe. You can let go completely now. Let go of wakefulness. Let go of consciousness. Let go of everything. Just this breathing, just this resting, just this soft, warm, dark, peaceful sleep. Like snow settling on quiet ground, your thoughts are becoming softer now. Like waves rolling onto a peaceful shore, your breath comes and goes in its own rhythm. There's no effort required, no vigilance needed, just this gentle dissolving into rest, into safety, into the deep comfort of being exactly where you are. Everything is soft now. Everything is quiet. Your body is so heavy, so relaxed, sinking deeper and deeper. Your mind is so calm, so still, thoughts barely forming, barely there. You're drifting now, floating, suspended in this peaceful darkness, this warm safety, this complete rest. Let yourself go even deeper, deeper than you've been yet, down into the soft darkness where sleep lives, down into the quiet peace where nothing disturbs, down into complete rest, complete safety, complete letting go. Your breath is its own rhythm now. Your heartbeat is its own song. Your body knows exactly what to do. It's been doing this your whole life, this gentle movement towards sleep, this natural transition from waking to dreaming, to deep, restful unconsciousness. You can trust it completely. Feel how the surface beneath you holds you completely, how you don't have to hold yourself up, how you can just sink down, supported, held, safe. Your whole body can release now, every muscle, every cell, all of it letting go, dissolving into rest. There's nowhere else you need to be, nothing else you need to do, just this, just breathing, just resting, just drifting deeper and deeper into sleep. You're home, you're safe, you can sleep now, deeply and peacefully, letting go of everything. Just rest now, just sleep. You don't need to hold on to any of this. You don't need to remember what we've talked about. You don't need to analyze or integrate or understand. You can simply let it all fade into the background, soft and distant, while your body takes over, while sleep approaches naturally, easily, without any effort from you. All the words from tonight, all the understandings, all the validations, they can fade now like morning mist disappearing in sunlight. You don't need them anymore. They've done their work. They've helped you see yourself more clearly, more kindly. And now they can rest too, settling into the background while you drift into sleep. Let yourself release any remaining awareness of the day, of the week, of anything beyond this moment. Let it all become distant and soft, barely there, like sounds from another room that don't concern you. Just this breathing, just this resting, just this gentle sinking into sleep. Your body is so heavy now, so relaxed. Every part of you has let go. Your feet, your legs, your hips, your back, your chest, your shoulders, your arms, your hands, your neck, your head. All of it heavy, soft, at rest. Supported completely by what's beneath you, held and safe. Your breath is barely moving now, just the softest whisper of air, in and out, in and out. So gentle you can barely feel it. Your heartbeat is slow and steady, a quiet rhythm in the background. Everything in you is settling into sleep. Let your mind release now, too. Let thoughts stop forming. Let awareness dim and fade. Let consciousness dissolve like sugar in water, disappearing completely, leaving only stillness. You're drifting now. So close to sleep, so ready to let go completely. You don't need to try to sleep. Sleep is coming on its own, naturally, inevitably. You can simply allow it. Simply surrender to it. Simply let it carry you down into deep rest. Your body knows how. You've done this thousands of times. You can trust the process completely. Let yourself go now. Let yourself drift away from waking, away from thought, away from awareness, down into sleep, down into peace, down into complete rest. You're safe. You can let go. You can sleep now. Here in this moment, everything is still. Everything is calm. Your home surrounds you. Your bed holds you. The darkness or the dimness wraps around you like something gentle, and you can trust this. You can surrender to this. You can let yourself be held by this space you've created. This space that knows you. This space you've shaped to your needs. This space where you can finally, completely be yourself without performance or adjustment. Home is not just where you are, it's what you feel. This safety, this peace, this deep settling, and you can rest in it completely now. Rest in the knowledge that you belong here, that this is exactly where you should be, that home is not just a place, but a state of being, and you've achieved it. You're here. You're safe. You can rest. Feel how still everything has become, how quiet, how peaceful. Your body is completely at rest now. Your mind is fading into sleep. Your whole being is surrendering to the peace of this moment. There's nothing left to do, nothing left to think, nothing left to hold. Your home holds you now. The bed beneath you supports you completely. The air around you is gentle and still. The sounds, whatever they are familiar and safe. Everything in this space conspires to help you rest, to let you sleep, to give you the peace you need. Let yourself sink into this support. Let yourself be held by home, by safety, by this moment. You don't have to hold yourself together anymore. You can let go. You can dissolve into rest. You can trust that you're held, that you're safe, that you can sleep deeply and peacefully. Your breath is so soft now it's barely there. Your body is so heavy it feels like part of the bed itself. Your mind is so quiet there's almost nothing left of waking consciousness. You're crossing over now from waking to sleep, from thought to dream, from holding on to letting go, and you can let yourself cross completely. You can let sleep take you. You can surrender to the peace that's been waiting. You're safe. You're home. You can rest now, completely and fully, just breathing, just resting, just sleeping. Your breath is its own rhythm now. Your heartbeat is its own song. Your body knows exactly what to do. It's been doing this your whole life, this gentle movement toward sleep, toward restoration, toward the deep rest that heals and renews, and you can trust it completely. Sleep is not something you do. It's something that happens to you when you let go, when you stop trying, when you stop thinking, when you simply allow your body to do what it knows how to do. And you're allowing that now. You're letting go. You're trusting the process. Feel how natural this is. How easy. How your body just knows, without any conscious direction, how to transition into sleep. How your breathing changes. How your muscles relax. How your mind quiets. All of it happening automatically, naturally, perfectly. You don't have to help. You don't have to try. You just have to allow. Just have to let go. Just have to surrender to what's already happening. Your body is already moving into sleep. Your consciousness is already fading. You're already drifting away from waking. Let yourself go completely now. Let the last threads of awareness dissolve. Let consciousness fade into darkness. Let yourself sink down, all the way down, into deep sleep, into the soft darkness where dreams live, into the peaceful rest that restores and heals. Your whole life, your body has known how to do this, how to rest, how to restore, how to heal while you sleep. And it's doing that now. All you have to do is let it. All you have to do is rest. All you have to do is sleep. Let go now. Let go of everything. Let yourself drift away completely. Down into sleep. Down into peace. Down into the deep, restful darkness where nothing disturbs and everything heals. You're safe. You're home. You can sleep now. Let go of wakefulness now. Let go of thought. Let go of the day, the week, the world outside. Let everything become distant and soft. Let sleep approach like something natural and welcome. Let yourself drift deeper and deeper into this rest you've been moving toward all along. There's nothing left to hold on to now. No thoughts that matter. No concerns that can't wait until morning. No part of you that needs to stay awake. Everything can rest. Everything can sleep. You can let go completely. The day is over. The work is done. The thinking can stop. The being can rest. You've done enough. You are enough. You can sleep now, deeply and peacefully, letting everything go, surrendering to rest. Feel how complete the letting go is becoming, how little of waking consciousness remains, how close you are to sleep, how natural and easy this transition is. Your body knows, your mind knows. Sleep is here now. Sleep is welcoming you. Sleep is ready to hold you. Let yourself be held. Let yourself sink all the way down. Let consciousness fade completely. Let sleep take you. Let yourself go. Down into rest, down into peace, down into deep, healing sleep. Your breath is barely there. Your body is completely still. Your mind is fading into darkness. You're crossing over now, from waking to sleeping, from consciousness to dreams, from doing to being, from holding to releasing. Let yourself cross completely. Let sleep have you. Let rest take you. Let peace hold you. You're safe. You're home. You can sleep now, deeply, peacefully, completely. Like sinking into warm water, like dissolving into darkness, like becoming part of the stillness itself. You're moving now into sleep. Deep sleep, restful sleep, the kind of sleep that happens when you're safe, when you're home, when you're finally, completely allowed to let go. This is not effort. This is not doing. This is allowing. This is surrendering. This is letting the natural process of sleep carry you down into rest. Your body knows how. You've done this thousands of times. You're doing it now. Feel yourself sinking deeper and deeper, down through layers of consciousness, down through layers of awareness, down into the deep places where sleep lives, where dreams begin, where rest is complete. Your whole body is so heavy now, like stone, like water, like something without form just dissolving into the darkness. Your breath is barely moving. Your heart beats slowly, steadily, quietly. Everything in you is settling into sleep. Let yourself sink even deeper. Let consciousness fade even more. Let the last bits of awareness dissolve completely. There's nothing to hold on to, nothing to think about, nothing to be. Just this sinking, just this dissolving, just this sleep, down and down, deeper and deeper, softer and softer, into sleep, into peace, into the deep, restful darkness where nothing disturbs, where everything heals, where you can rest completely. You're safe, you're held, you're home. You can let go completely now. You can sleep deeply. You can rest fully. Everything is okay. Everything can wait. Just sleep now. Just rest. Just peace. And here, in this last gentle moment before sleep takes you completely, there's nothing left to hold, nothing left to think, nothing left to do. Just this. Just rest. Just the sweet, inevitable surrender into sleep. You're safe. You're home. You can rest now. Sleep is here. Sleep surrounds you. Sleep holds you gently, like something soft and warm and safe. You can surrender to it completely. You can let it take you. You can rest in it fully. There's no more waking needed. No more thinking needed. No more being awake. Just sleep. Deep, restful, healing sleep. The kind that comes when you're truly safe, when you're truly home, when you can truly let go. Let yourself rest now. Let yourself sleep. Let yourself sink all the way down into the deepest rest, into complete peace, into total surrender. Your body knows how to heal while you sleep. Your mind knows how to restore. Everything knows how to rest and renew. You can trust this. You can trust sleep. You can trust your body. You can trust this moment. You're safe. You're held. You can let go completely now. Sleep is here. Peace is here. Rest is here. And you can surrender to all of it, completely, fully, without holding back. Just sleep. Just peace. Just rest. Your breath is barely there now. Your body is completely still. Your mind has faded into darkness. You're sleeping now, or so close to sleep that it doesn't matter. You've crossed over. You've let go. You're resting. And you can rest deeply. You can sleep peacefully. You can let this night hold you and heal you and restore you. You're safe. You're home. You can sleep now. Just breathing, just resting, just sleeping. Nothing else matters. Nothing else exists. Just this soft, warm, dark, peaceful sleep. Just this complete rest. Just this perfect peace. You're home. You're safe. You can rest completely. Sleep deeply. Let go fully. Everything is okay. Everything is perfect. Just sleep now. Just rest. Just peace. Here in this moment, everything is still. Everything is calm. Your home surrounds you. Your bed holds you. The darkness or the dimness wraps around you like something gentle. And you can trust this. You can surrender to this. You can let yourself be held by this space you've created. This space that knows you. This space you've shaped to your needs. This space where you can finally completely be yourself without performance or adjustment. Home is not just where you are, it's what you feel. This safety, this peace, this deep settling that happens in your nervous system when you're somewhere that truly fits you, and you've created this. You've built this sanctuary, whether consciously or unconsciously, through 1,000 small choices about lighting and sound and comfort, through the selection of what stays and what goes, through the gradual calibration of your environment to match your needs. This didn't happen by accident. This happened because you were listening to yourself, paying attention to what felt right, honoring what your body and mind were telling you they needed. Feel how still everything has become, how quiet, how peaceful. Your body is completely at rest now. Your mind is fading into sleep. Your whole being is surrendering to the peace of this moment. There's nothing left to do, nothing left to think, nothing left to hold on to or figure out or understand. Your feet are so heavy now, like they're made of stone, sinking down through the bed, down through the floor, down into the earth itself. Your ankles are loose and soft. Your calves have released completely, all the muscles that carried you through the day now resting, recovering, letting go. Your knees are soft, your thighs heavy and still. All the tension that might have lived in your legs, all the holding and bracing and moving, it can all release now. Your legs are just weight, just heaviness, just complete rest. Your hips are sinking down, releasing into the support beneath you. Your lower back is soft, no longer holding you up, no longer working. The bed does that work now. You can simply rest. Your belly rises and falls with each breath, so gentle, so easy, no effort required. Just this soft movement, this gentle tide of breath that continues without any thought or intention from you. Your chest is soft and open, your heart beating slowly, steadily, peacefully in the quiet darkness of your body. Your shoulders have dropped completely, melted down away from your ears, releasing all the tension they've been holding. How much do shoulders hold? The weight of responsibility, of alertness, of readiness to respond. And now they can release all of it. They can simply rest, heavy and soft against the bed. Your arms are like water, flowing down, no structure left in them, just this soft heaviness. Your elbows are loose, your wrists are relaxed, your hands are open, fingers uncurled, palms soft, nothing to grip, nothing to hold, nothing to do with these hands except rest. Your neck is at ease, supporting your head without effort. Your jaw hangs loose, teeth slightly apart, no clenching, no tension. Your tongue rests gently in your mouth. Your lips are soft. Your cheeks are heavy. The muscles around your eyes have released completely. Your eyelids, if they're not already closed, are so heavy they want only to close, to rest, to stop holding themselves open. Your forehead is smooth and peaceful. Your scalp is relaxed. Your whole head is heavy against the pillow, supported completely, held perfectly. There's not a single part of your body holding tension now. Everything has released. Everything has let go. Everything is resting. And in this complete physical rest, your mind can rest too. Thoughts have become so quiet, so distant, barely forming anymore. Just the faintest whispers of consciousness, and even those are fading, dissolving like mist in morning sun. You don't need to think. You don't need to be aware. You don't need to maintain consciousness. You can simply drift, simply float, simply sink deeper and deeper into sleep. Your home holds you now. The bed beneath you supports every inch of you. The air around you is gentle and still. The sounds, whatever they are, have become part of the peaceful background, not disturbing, just present in a way that confirms you're safe, you're home, you're exactly where you need to be. Let yourself sink even deeper into this support. Let yourself be held by home, by safety, by this moment. You don't have to hold yourself together anymore. You don't have to maintain anything. You can let go. You can dissolve into rest. You can trust that you're held, that you're safe, that you can sleep deeply and peacefully without any concern for anything else. The world outside your home continues, but it doesn't concern you now. Other people are living their lives, making their choices, following their rhythms, and that's fine. That's perfect. They're doing what works for them and you're doing what works for you. You're here, in your sanctuary, in your peace, in your chosen solitude. And this is exactly right. This is exactly where you should be. You don't have to justify this to anyone. You don't have to explain why you prefer home, why you need solitude, why quiet nourishes you. You can simply know that it does, and that's enough. Your preferences are valid. Your needs are real. Your way of living is legitimate and worthy and good. Let this truth settle all the way through you. Let it release any last whispers of doubt or guilt or wondering if you should be different. You don't need to be different. You're exactly who you should be. You're living exactly the way you should live. You're honoring yourself in the deepest way. And that is not just acceptable, it's beautiful, it's courageous, it's wise. Your breath is so soft now it's barely there. Just the faintest movement, in and out, in and out. So gentle you can barely feel it. Your heartbeat is slow and steady, a quiet rhythm in the background, beating on without any thought from you, keeping you alive, keeping blood flowing, keeping your body working while you rest. Your heart knows how to do this. Your lungs know how to do this. Your whole body knows how to maintain itself while you sleep, and you can trust that completely. You can surrender to it. You can let your body do what it knows how to do while your consciousness fades away, while your awareness dissolves, while you sink down into the deep places where dreams live and healing happens and restoration occurs. Sleep is not just rest from waking. It's when your brain processes the day, consolidates memories, makes sense of experience. It's when your body repairs tissues, releases toxins, strengthens immune function. It's when your nervous system recalibrates, resetting itself for another day. All of this happens while you sleep, without any conscious effort from you. Your body and mind know exactly what to do. They've been doing it your entire life. And they're doing it now. Already, even as you drift towards sleep, the processes of restoration have begun. Your nervous system is shifting into deeper states of rest. Your brain is beginning its work of processing and consolidating. Your body is starting its repair and renewal. All of it happening automatically, perfectly, exactly as it should. You don't have to help. You don't have to try. You just have to let go. Just have to surrender to what's already happening. Just have to allow sleep to take you completely. Let yourself go even more deeply now. Let the last threads of waking consciousness dissolve. Let awareness fade into darkness. Let yourself sink down, all the way down, into the deepest rest, into the soft darkness where sleep lives, into the peaceful quiet where nothing disturbs and everything heals. Your whole body is so heavy now, like you're made of lead, of stone, of earth itself, sinking down, down, down through the bed, through the floor, through everything, down into the deep stillness where nothing moves and everything rests. Your breath is barely there. Your heartbeat is a quiet whisper. Your body is completely still. Your mind is fading now too. Thoughts barely forming, awareness barely present. Just this dim, distant sense of being, and even that is dissolving, becoming part of the darkness, part of the stillness, part of the sleep that's taking you. Let yourself go completely now. Let consciousness fade entirely. Let the last bit of awareness disappear into darkness. There's nothing to hold on to, nothing to maintain, nothing to be except this sleeping, resting, peaceful presence dissolving into night, down and down, deeper and deeper, softer and softer, into sleep, into peace, into the deep, restful darkness where nothing disturbs, where everything heals, where you can rest completely, fully, without any reservation or holding back. You're safe, you're held, you're home. You can let go completely now. You can sleep deeply. You can rest fully. Everything is okay. Everything can wait. Everything will be there tomorrow. But tonight there's only this sleep, this peace, this complete surrender to rest. Let yourself drift away now, away from waking, away from thought, away from consciousness, down into sleep, down into dreams, down into the deep healing rest that your body needs, that your mind needs, that your whole being needs. Your breath is its own rhythm now, continuing without you. Just this soft tide of air moving in and out, keeping you alive while you sleep. Your heartbeat is its own song, steady and slow, beating on through the night, maintaining your life while you rest. Your body knows exactly what to do. It's been doing this your entire life. You can trust it completely, and you can sleep now. You can let go of everything. You can surrender completely to rest. Sleep is here. Sleep surrounds you. Sleep holds you gently, like something soft and warm and safe. You can rest in it completely. You can let it take you. You can dissolve into it fully. There's no more waking needed tonight, no more thinking needed, no more being conscious, just sleep. Deep, restful, healing sleep. The kind that comes when you're truly safe, when you're truly home, when you can truly let go of everything. Your body is sleeping now, or so close to sleep it doesn't matter anymore. Your muscles are completely relaxed. Your breathing has shifted into sleep patterns. Your heart rate has slowed. Your brain waves are changing, moving from alert patterns into the slower, deeper patterns of sleep. Everything in you is transitioning, shifting, moving into sleep, and your consciousness is fading too. Thoughts have stopped. Awareness is dimming. You're crossing over now from waking to sleeping, from consciousness to unconsciousness, from being aware to being completely at rest. This crossing is natural, inevitable, perfect. Your body knows how to do it. You've done it thousands of times. You're doing it now. Let yourself cross completely. Let sleep take you fully. Let consciousness fade into darkness. Let awareness dissolve into nothing. You're sleeping now. Or you will be in just a moment. The transition is happening. The letting go is complete. You can rest now. You can sleep now, deeply and peacefully and completely. Like a stone sinking through water, down and down into peaceful depths. Like snow falling on silent ground, soft and gentle, settling and dissolving. Like fog lifting from a valley at dawn, your awareness is gradually disappearing, becoming part of the peaceful darkness that surrounds you. Home is not just a place. Home is this feeling, this safety, this peace, this deep sense of being exactly where you belong. And you're there now. You're in that feeling. You're held by that safety. You're resting in that peace. You're home in the deepest sense, not just physically, but emotionally, psychologically, spiritually. You're home in your being. And from this home, from this deep sense of belonging to yourself and to this space you've created, you can sleep. You can rest. You can let go of everything. Because home holds you, safety surrounds you, peace fills you, and you can surrender completely to the sleep that's been waiting, that's been approaching, that's here now. Your whole life has been leading to this moment. Every choice you've made about how to live, where to be, what nourishes you, every time you chose home over going out, every time you protected your solitude, every time you honoured your need for quiet, all of it has led here to this moment of complete rest, of total peace, of absolute surrender to sleep in the safety of home. And you can rest in the rightness of this, in the wisdom of your choices, in the validity of your preferences. You've done well. You've listened to yourself. You've honoured your truth. You've created a life that fits you, and now you can rest completely in that life, in this moment, in this perfect safety. Let yourself sink deeper still, deeper than you've gone yet, down into the very deepest places of rest, where consciousness completely disappears, where awareness fully dissolves, where there's nothing left but the body breathing, the heart beating, the deep processes of sleep and healing and restoration. You're there now, or nearly there, so close to complete sleep, so close to total rest, so close to the deep unconsciousness where healing happens and dreams begin and the night passes in peaceful darkness. Let yourself arrive there fully. Let yourself sink all the way down. Let consciousness fade completely. Let sleep take you entirely. You're safe. You're home. You can rest now, can sleep now, can let go completely now. Your body is so heavy it feels like part of the bed itself, like part of the earth itself, like something that's always been still and will always be still. Your breath is barely moving. Your heart beats slowly in the quiet darkness. Your mind has faded into nothing, into the soft darkness where sleep lives, and you're sleeping now, or about to sleep, or so deeply relaxed it doesn't matter which. You've crossed over. You've let go. You've surrendered to sleep, and sleep has taken you gently, softly, peacefully into its embrace. Rest now. Sleep now. Let everything go. Let consciousness fade completely. Let awareness disappear entirely. There's nothing left to hold on to, nothing left to maintain, Nothing left to be except this sleeping, resting, peaceful being dissolving into night. The night holds you. The darkness surrounds you. The silence fills you. And you can rest in all of it, completely and fully, without any reservation or fear or holding back. You're safe. You're home. You can sleep. And sleep is here now. Deep sleep, restful sleep, the kind of sleep that happens when everything is right, when you're in the perfect place, when your body and mind can finally, completely let go. This is that sleep. This is that moment. This is that complete surrender. Let it take you now. Let it hold you. Let it carry you through the night in perfect peace. You've done enough. You've thought enough. You've been awake enough. Now is the time for sleep, for rest, for the deep unconsciousness where healing happens and time passes and morning eventually comes. But morning is far away. Morning doesn't matter. There's only this moment, this sleep, this deep rest. There's only this breathing and this heartbeat and this complete stillness. There's only peace. There's only safety. There's only home. And from this home, from this safety, from this peace, you can sleep deeply and completely, letting go of everything, surrendering to rest, dissolving into the peaceful darkness that holds you. You're sleeping now. Your body knows it. Your breath has changed. Your heartbeat has slowed. Your brain waves have shifted. You're in sleep now, or so close it makes no difference. You've let go. You've surrendered. You've crossed over into rest, and you can stay there. You can sleep deeply. You can rest completely, all night long, in perfect safety, in absolute peace, in the embrace of home. Sleep deeply, sleep peacefully, sleep well. The darkness holds you gently, the silence surrounds you softly, the stillness fills you completely, and you can rest in all of it, without thought, without awareness, without anything except the deep processes of sleep and healing. Your home has done its work. It's given you sanctuary. It's provided safety. It's held you through the transition from waking to sleeping, and now it continues to hold you, continues to keep you safe, continues to be the container for your rest. You don't have to do anything. You don't have to be anything. You don't have to maintain anything. You can simply sleep, simply rest, simply be in this deep state of unconsciousness where nothing disturbs and everything heals. Let the night pass in peace. Let sleep hold you completely. Let rest restore you fully. You're safe. You're home. You're sleeping. And that is perfect. That is exactly right. That is all you need to be right now. Sleep deeply, sleep peacefully, sleep completely. Let go of everything. Surrender to rest. Dissolve into the peaceful darkness. You're home. You're safe. You can rest now. Just breathing, just heartbeat, just sleep. Nothing else. Nothing more. Just this complete rest. This absolute peace. This perfect safety. Just sleep. You're sleeping now, deeply and peacefully, in the safety of home, in the comfort of your chosen solitude, in the peace of being exactly where you belong. Sleep well, rest completely. Let the night hold you gently until morning comes. And so you've travelled through this landscape tonight, through the quiet territory of your own patterns, your own complexity, your own beautiful preference for home and solitude. You've looked at the ways your nervous system works, the ways your brain processes the world, the reasons home feels the way it does, and you've begun to see, perhaps more clearly than before, that you're not broken, you're not avoiding, you're not missing out. You're human, beautifully and complicatedly human, living in a way that honours your authentic needs. You don't have to figure anything out before you sleep. You don't have to resolve anything or understand anything or fix anything. You can let yourself be uncertain, be in process, be exactly where you are. Tomorrow is another day. Tonight is for rest, for the deep, complete rest that comes when you finally stop justifying yourself and simply accept who you are. Let yourself soften now. Let the muscles in your face relax completely. Let your jaw unclench. Let your shoulders drop all the way down. Let your whole body settle into the surface beneath you, heavy and at peace. Let your breath become so soft it's barely there. Let your mind fade into the darkness. Let consciousness dissolve completely. You are worthy of rest. You are deserving of peace. You're allowed to let go, to stop thinking, to simply drift into sleep. You're safe here. You're held by your home, by your bed, by this moment. You can rest now, completely and fully. Let yourself drift deeper and softer into sleep. Just breathing, just resting, just sleeping. You can let go completely now. Sleep deeply, sleep peacefully, sleep well. You're home. You're safe. You can rest.